Hey folks, welcome back to Let's Play Nobunaga's Ambition, Sphere of Influence. I'm the Mysterious JG, and I somehow triggered an ad on this YouTube video I use as a timer, so that was surprising to me. Um, this particular session for me, because I'm actually sneaking in, gonna try to sneak in about 2 weeks worth of uploads in one long sit down if I can here. But it's been dominated by the fact that the Uesugi attacked. When the Uesugis attack, or if you prefer, Uesugi attacks, like the Mars attacks font. We're trying to move into a mode where we just rebuilt for a while, but the Uesugi decided to try to attack Kundamine Castle. As a result, we cashed in some of our diplomacy with the Hojo, but we didn't need to do that. The fact that the Uesugi marched so close to their borders pulled them in anyway. And now, what I think we're seeing is the Uesugi, and they're going to lose, I think, Iwatsuki Castle, because we intentionally set this up. I'm really hoping they're smart enough to organize it and they don't just encircle it and fail to take it with their weaker units here. This is probably the Satake. Yeah, the Satake are trying to expand too. So inevitably, the Satake and the Hojo fight it out over the Kanto. But these little clans here, yeah, the Satake are attempting to take over. So the Hojo need to be smart and more aggressive than they have been. Although it's been pretty nice that they haven't been more aggressive in the past, because in the past, the people they would have been aggressive against might have been us. Oh, we're right in the middle of a military turn for some reason. No, we're not. Yeah, we're in a domestic turn. I thought we were in a domestic turn. Okay. So we've got no upgrades that need to be done. I do have construction that I was trying to get done in a few places. For example, Okazaki Castle. Well, they're working on their stuff now, so I'll let them finish what they've been. Well, we could get a double annex going, but oh, it requires a fancy wall. Okay, let's see. If we got a stone wall, that would leave us 3 spots. We could do a double annex and then a castle facility. We couldn't have a bailey or a turret. But I'd be down with that. But it might be wiser to instead spend the points at Tokado Castle. Their upgrades, however, are also still going. Because everybody except for the Overseer would take a million years to do anything. Maybe the smart play would be to give this a turn so that some of those new officers can move around to those cities, and I might have better options for people to actually build stuff. So I saved a little cash. I spent all my labor on develop, which is still doing something beneficial. Now we're still, the Hojo are okay. They're wary right now because we're an enemy of our ally, the Nagano clan. Well, don't worry about that. The Nagano clan will be gone soon, so you won't have anything to worry about there. But it does make it's going to be slow to build up our progress there. Meanwhile, we're still trying to entice this guy. And it's not costing much. So let's see what we can do with this. The idea would be that eventually we would attack his city and we would conspire with him to not march or not fight against us. But it may be too late for that now, because we're probably just going to defeat him and take over. Meanwhile, these guys keep sending forces to help those guys, and they're going back through the mountains and then coming out here to avoid engaging this one base. Why don't you guys just attack this base? I guess Karasawayama Castle, and this is a thing typical. These little clans that control this area, none of them have a lot of troops, but some of them have really, they're old clans that have really strong castles, but they're not actually well positioned to go out and take anybody else over. All right. Oda clan was eliminated by Satake clan. So this was Oda Castle. It had something called Oda clan. It's not the same. I don't really understand what's going on with them, but it ain't the same as the Oda clan we'd normally be talking about. So the encirclement isn't complete yet. But I'm curious about this one. It looks like... Oh, if they've got tribes supporting them, that'll help. 1,500, 1,000, 500, you idiots. Why aren't you using these guys, this group instead? But they've got... Ah, Kataro Fuma. I have seen him appear in game, but I just, like, never as an officer. That we can just, like, you know, meet the officer, as it were. Because he's a weird tribal leader of the Fuma Ninja. But as you can see, they gave him this, like, this weird monster kind of portrait. But I'm pretty sure he can appear as an officer. Like, you can absorb the Fuma clan and make him just be in your army. The same way that Hattori Hanzo is currently. Riding with Shingen. You see he's got high leader, valor, and intelligence. No, that's our overall unit. I don't know how to... He's got the bond breaker. I don't know how to actually go about seeing information about Hanzo through these menus. I'd have to go through the regular old officer menu, and I just don't feel like it right this minute. Seems the Hojo clan was able to reinforce us as requested. So who is this unit here that is not... Okay, Nobuharu is not part of the encirclement, but he could be. I just want to make sure these guys don't break it up. So let me check something. They have a truce with those guys, but they're not allies with them, so that shouldn't mean that they would come interfere.
Understood.
I could just do this with those guys and have Nobuharu down here. I'm guarding against any outside interference in this siege by parking you guys here. And then if I can successfully besiege them, the same army moves to finish off Umebayashi Castle. And then we've basically divided these. And there's not... See, the Hojo took it already. They already surrendered while my attention was elsewhere. So it's only these two cities now. But yeah, we'll have isolated these Uesugi cities so that they can't support the main Uesugi force, which is slowly expanding west. But it's a race to reach Kyoto, and I don't think they're going to be the winners. Meanwhile, over here you can see the Oda are rebuilding their forces. So the next time we fight them, it's going to be bloody. I almost said a bloodbath, but that implies it's going to go all our way. Like, it's just going to be a big, fat, ugly fight. So I did want to take these cities. My hand was forced by the Uesugi's actions, but the next thing, once we have food, that I could just afford to march a big army, we got to take Sakurabora Castle. Probably that'll also involve marching up on Matsukura Castle, just to make sure there's no interference. We won't get that clan's officers, not that it has any that are worth getting, because they've got other cities. They've got a city up here, and they're a weird one. They're split here. They got... Oh, what happened is one of these bases here, probably Asakurayama Castle, or no, I think it might be, yeah, Oyama Temple. These are like crazy Buddhist monks, and they've just gone on expanding. So, like, the Uesugi are in the middle of a war with, like, these crazy Buddhist monks, which is kind of funny because Kenshin was a devout Buddhist himself. And usually you think about the Buddhist monks of Nagashima Castle, and like Nobunaga gaining his reputation as the Demon King, because he basically told them, start paying taxes and acting like you're vassals of mine, because you're sitting in my territory. And they were like, no, we are holy men. We vow before no one but our God, which isn't really how the Buddhists would say, but I'm trying to quote a Mystery Science Theater episode. And Nobunaga's like, oh, okay, well, I mean, you're into gods, huh? Well, I'm going to show you the devil. And he just fucking burned their shit down and murdered all their people. And gained a reputation. He was one of history's famous atheists, but gained a reputation amongst the common people as being, like, you know, a fucking demon who was murdering priests. But these were priests who were armed with rifles and leading troops and just kind of, they were warrior monks. It was kind of a weird deal. I'm just hoping these guys stay parked where they are, but now with Nobuharu Baba here, I think we're pretty much safe. We're going to take these castles. We might run into some provisions issues. That's what usually happens. We get screwed up by I don't have enough food left. We need to get the wood oxen. We need Yue Yang.
Onward to the battlefield.
Takahiro Kitajo is discontent enough to not fight us if we ask. Shall we continue to conspire? Yes. Because that's what we want, but to actually pull the trigger on that would require us to take an action. I don't think I can do that in the middle of a turn. We have to do that during... We can't do that in the middle of an action turn. We have to do that during a domestic turn. So they decided they are going to come in and fight us.
Advance.
So these guys came a long way just to get their butts kicked by Nobuharu Baba, who is not a created officer, but is one of the actual historical talkative badass guys. So we're going to use the pursuit, which makes us better at melee and slows them down. And then we'll charge them, because it's going to be basically impossible for them to get out of the way now that we've reduced their mobility. So we'll take some losses. Not really that many. We're just going to butcher them. And at this rate, because you're not going to attack, I think we add you to the siege to see if we can make it go any faster. You would be in... you could have a good fight with Ryo Ryutoshi, but the point here is... unless they march out, which it doesn't seem like they're going to. Oh, yeah! Tell me you guys on your own recognizance, without us having to tell you, are going to take Oshi Castle. And then maybe even Yuki Castle. Yuki Castle is probably going to be the last, because what's going to happen is the Hojo and the Satake will both be trying to take it, and they'll keep coming into conflict with each other. Doesn't look like Manoa Castle is going to last long enough for us to have food problems. Because they've got no troops left. It's really just a very small force hiding behind the walls, hoping that that's enough. They've got nothing with which to sally forth and attack us. So we are taking this one for sure. Might even be before this turn ends. This is the turning point. Oh, come on. You're going to make me wait till the next turn, aren't you? Yep. Looks like I've gained the tiger trait. There's a tiger in my tank, baby.
Let us begin the meeting.
Let's begin to begin. We have Minowa Castle surrounded by 8,000 men, and Froxus Nilok, who's a woman. It follows with a man
Here's
at a time.
last month's balance. Reporting in.
Training is paid off. Seems a Ronin or two are in our land. So let's hire the Ronin warriors. Yoshichika Komine. He is mediocre as fuck. But It's a small one-time outlay to get these officers. So I pretty much always hire every officer, as you've probably noticed by now. Alright, Galooed. Enticing an officer you have been conspiring with will end discontent. Is that okay? Yes. Pacify. Convince the opponent to avoid combat at war. Confirm. So I think we need to wait a moment before we can attack to make sure that it connected. But yeah, that means that this unit won't fight us. So we can just surround the castle without them actually fighting us. It only lasts for a few months, but that should be more than enough time. Meanwhile, it looks like that, yeah, the Satake are getting froggy now and starting to come into conflict with the Hojo. I thought they might be attacking Yuki Castle. They are, I guess they're either defending their border, so they're trying to, well, hold on, check that. I don't think they have an alliance with the Uesugi, but they have a truce with the Uesugi. Okay. And ironically, once we destroy this Nagano clan, I'm pretty sure they will go from wary to normal immediately. They should be happy with us, though. Like, our conniving and our struggle with the Uesugi has actually made them more powerful. Anyway. Alright. What's over here? Oh, you're...
Ask for anything you want.
At Alice's restaurant. So we do have some upgrades that need to be made. Upgrade complete. We've got this temple. I would normally want this to be a cargoman. Let's see.
Let us enact a policy.
Our innovation is 198. So I don't know that I can afford to get rid of that. See, I'd love to turn that. I'd love to start turning that into a cargoman. I don't think I can afford to right now. I mean, I could put one here, and then this could be conscript. But yeah, like I like this. It's hitting different things, so I could make, yeah. It would only be 2 because this is already what it is. Oh, this would actually be the place for a cargoman right here. All right, let's go ahead and make it a temple complex. That'll further. And this will actually turn Ieyasu into the overseer because he wasn't already. That'll further decrease our innovation to give us some more of a buffer the next time I want to change something. Always excited about building more ranches. Aha, we saved a little labor there. Would have rather saved gold, but it's okay. This is a raise innovation. We don't want that. Okay, so we don't have just like unlimited money to spend. Where do they want? Oh, there's all sorts of road improvements that could be going on in some of these areas. But I did what we needed to do for those cities. All right, we'll get to road improvement eventually, but for now, there's a couple of castles. Residence, large gate. To do a dual annex. Would involve fancifying the walls. Let's come Come back to that in a minute. This place is maxed out. It's only going to ever get so good. Here we can probably eventually build a facility. Otherwise, we could do a Bailey. We're not going to get any more population growth here. Nagano Castle was probably the one where, yeah. It won't be fast. We can start building our way towards things like large gates. All this does is... Oh, it's a big HP increase, actually, but... There goes all of our money. Damn it, JG. What are you doing?
Ask for anything you want.
At Alice's restaurant. We're going to sell a little bit of food.
Thank you for your patronage.
And just a little bit, because we're about to hit the harvest. And this will just give us enough to use the rest of our labor for... I guess I didn't even need to sell at all, but it made me feel more secure in my masculinity. All right. So it's going to take a while, but I've got stuff going at Nagano Castle, which is going to have its population increase improved significantly. Because right now it's like plus 67 a month. But you can compare that to like Uesugi Castle, where we've made a bunch of improvements, and it's 104 a month. But those are both castles that have a lot of developable land that hasn't been developed yet. So they could eventually be powerhouses as far as troop counts, gold, and food libraries. They'll basically be food libraries. All right, let's watch the fall of Minoa Castle and then wait and see. It's only a 500 troop unit, so it really isn't worth the effort that we made, but our plan to collude with Takahiro Kitajo might finally result in something happening.
This castle is now...
I have taken Minoa Castle. Remember, it is not a castle that protects the land, but people. Castles protect people, not land. Nagano clan was eliminated by Takeda clan.
You've no place to run.
All your base are belong to me. So they can come together to Umebayashi Castle, but I kind of want to wait a minute and see if we get a message.
We return.
To them again. Oh, you know what? I don't want to do that.
Acknowledged.
Because I want him to stay parked here. Well, he's going to come here to get food and come back. These guys are going to take Umebayashi Castle. Can't actually control this fight, but... these guys do seem to be in battle with the Uesugi. Yeah, the Uesugi are going to take Oshi Castle. So this is pretty cool. It looks like the Satake are just watching. Trying to see, do I need to wait? Do I need to wait before I can attack, or are they already in a mode where they're not going to attack me? His order is marching. I don't know. I'll be annoyed if this doesn't work, but... Tell you what I'll do.
Understood.
I'll have them trade places, see if that gives us enough time for a message to get to him. I don't think... Oh no, you're supposed to... You're supposed to guard the pass. I think now these 3 units can attack.
Leave it to me.
And they won't prevent it. Unless him being there means they can't encircle, even though they won't fight, in which case I messed it up. But we'll see what happens. Meanwhile, yeah, the Satake are not attacking. They're just kind of standing here being like, don't you dare march on Sekiyato Castle. But I think the Hojo are going to now attack Oshi Castle and hopefully take it. And then, faster than I expected, I was going to try to isolate the Uesugi cities down here. I think I just have basically given them to the Hojo.
Stop here.
Alright, as promised, I'll let you pass by without a fight. Thanks to collusion with Takahiro Kitajo, Takahiro Kitajo's unit won't fight us for 4 months. Are they going to move out of the way? Because we're trying to encircle that town, or that city. Yep, they're going to let us take the city. This is our turning point. And their morale should collapse pretty quickly. It's certainly not going to take 4 months to take them out. So yeah, the Uesugi attacked, and as a result, they've lost all of their holdings in the Kanto. They've got one city left in the Kanto after I take this one, and it's basically it's just a matter of who gets it, the Hojo or the Satake. There's no way they can reinforce. But I've got the Golden Touch trait. I've gained the Rouse trait. Also, I'm keeping an eye on Frox's Nilok as instructed. We have Umeyabashi Castle surrounded by 7,000 men. It's falls but a matter of time.
Reporting in.
We got gold from the tribes. I'm curious, don't we get horses from the tribes and stuff too? I guess at different times of year, these different bonuses are bestowed on us. Hojo clan's foreign stance is now normal because we destroyed the ally. They were like, we really are kind of worried about how you're killing our ally. Oh, never mind, you've killed our ally completely. Now we don't care. So we'll have Hanbei Takanaka. We'll investigate this castle. We need a lord for Manoa Castle. So he's at Uehara Castle, which I think is one of the ones that I... Well, it's not that one. Okay, well, there's 4 people there. Okay, so if we make him the lord of this castle, then we want to put somebody else there to replace him. And we'll need a couple of guys up here to run Manoa Castle. which doesn't have a lot. I don't think it has a whole lot of territory it can expand to. Oh, maybe it does. If these two can belong to it, it might have more than I realized. Like I said, you can't freaking tell what's going on with these places before you're running them. And I'm not allowed to look at it now because I don't have any officers there, so fudge. But, I guess we'll... I take a... That's Shingen's wife. I kind of was appreciating them getting to stay together, but... We'll take somebody at decent pull out of Komoro, because it doesn't need 100 officers. Out of Komoro to go to Manoa. Oh, everyone there sucks at pull except Yojiro, who has to be the overseer, or he gets pissy. I mean, he has to be the castle lord, or he gets pissy because he's got these really high requirements before he'll be happy. Yeah, there's not that many places where I guess I left myself a ton of good pole officers. I've got more than I need up here. Because Nagano is kind of... it's a famous battle site, but it's not really a place that's ever going to be a great domestic castle. Alright. Well, I kind of ran out of time here, didn't I? Let's,
Ask for anything you want.
I think they're either trying to get me to sell or they're trying to get me to buy guns, which I just have not been using guns. Let's go ahead and finish the domestic turn fairly quickly here. Oh, here's what's flashing. Like something is flashing. What is flashing? You are flashing. Kawanawari Sanda back to the front line, keeping a wary eye on the Oda, and being really annoyed about what happened with the Mitsudaira. So it could go... I guess we can get you started on a stone wall, just so that eventually we can build that double annex. By the time all this is done, yeah, we're not going to be able to get a double annex here anyway, so don't worry about it. We'll need to save some stuff to build this place up if it turns out it's got a awesome territories that it has oversight over. Got myself really turned around about the time, though. I thought I had a lot more time in the video than I did. Because I'm kind of simultaneously eyeballing what time will it be when I'm done recording, if I do this many more videos, and then I could go out and get some dinner and blah blah, and I've just really turned myself around. But yeah, it's time to call it a video. When we come back next time, guys, I think the Uesugi are in real trouble in the Kanto. We're going to take one more city from them at least, maybe march up and take that city in the mountain pass, just to have it while we're out there. But honestly, my main objective now that I've got all this secured, it's time to go grab the last city of the Saito so we can absorb their officer corps. And then we either rest on our laurels for a bit and build, or we turn our attention back to the Oda. Because we got to take out the Oda and the Azai, and then there's a bunch of little clans that are clustered around Kyoto that eventually we're going to have to resume our march towards Kyoto. That is, what is it, the Saijiro plan, or whatever it's called. That's our real objective, and we'll start getting back towards that in the next few videos. See you then.